Chapter 1st. Representation of Geographical Features. Devshri was trying to understand a map and a globe, but they were not clear to her. She was not aware as how things are represented on a globe or a map. The earth has always been a source of inspiration and attraction to her. She also had a picture of the earth taken from space by a satellite, but this picture showed only one half of the earth. The insatiable nature of Devshri took her to her father. She asked him how distance is shown on a map or a globe. She also asked him how mountains, rivers, roads, fields and other things are represented on a map or a globe. She also wanted to know different types of maps. Her father told her each and everything related to a map or globe. He also explained the differences between a map, a sketch, and a plan. Let's know what Devshri's father told her about a map, a globe, and representation of features on it. Globe. We cannot see the complete earth with its either features at one time. For this, a globe is a small man-made model of the earth. It represents the earth in a more accurate and simple way. All geographical features of the earth are represented on the globe. A globe shows the correct size and location of countries and oceans. It also shows correct positions and locations of places. No doubt, a globe is a useful invention, but it has certain limitations. Following are some limitations of a globe. It is not easy to carry a globe from one place to another. It is not possible to make a large-sized globe and use it. Although a globe shows all the features, it does not show them in detail as it has limited space. A globe always represents the earth in its totality. It cannot be made to represent a part of the earth. Maps. A limitations of a globe paved the way for maps. A map is a representation of the earth or a flat surface, which is drawn to scale. A map represents the earth as a whole or a part of it. A map includes a title, scale, direction, grid, conventional signs and symbols and colors. These are called the language of a map. The language of a map gives us an array of information. Let's read about the language of a map. Scale. A scale helps in measuring distance between different locations. Did you know Ferdinand Magellan was the first explorer to lead the expedition of sail all the way around the world. He also discovered a passage from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean that is called the Strait of Magellan. He was a great explorer of Portugal. The distance between any 2 points on a map is measured in centimeters. One part of the scale shows the distance on the map, for example 1 centimeter, while the other part shows the actual distance on the surface of the earth, for example 1 kilometer. The distance between any two places on a map measured along a straight line is known as map distance. The actual distance between the same places on ground is known as ground distance. A scale represents ratio of these two distances. Let's understand it with an example. Suppose the scale of a map is 1 centimeter ratio 10 kilometer. This means that a distance of 1 centimeter on a map is equal to that of 10 kilometer on ground. A scale on a map can be represented in the following ways. First, a scale can be represented through statement. It is called statement method. In this method, the scale is taken as 1 centimeter ratio 10 kilometer. 1 centimeter is the map distance and the 10 kilometer is the ground distance. This is a very easy method to measure the distance. Second, in the second method, scale is represented through a numerical fraction. It is called representative fraction. In this method, the ratio between the map distance and the ground distance is represented as a fraction. In this fraction, numerator is always 1. Let's understand it with an example. Suppose the representative fraction RF is given as 1 by 3 lakh. In the given example, the numerator 1 shows the map distance and the denominator 3 lakh shows the ground distance. So, the representative fraction RF equals to map distance upon ground distance. It can also be represented as 1:3 lakh. Representative fraction has universal application in map making and it has no particular unit of measurement. A statement can be converted into RF and RF can be converted into statement. Let's understand the process of calculating RF on the given statement of scale. Suppose the given statement of scale is 3 cm ratio 6 km. First of all, you will change both of the sides into the same unit of measurement. 3 cm ratio 6 into 100 equals to 6000 meter. 3 cm ratio 6000 meter into 100 equals to 6 lakh centimeter. So 3 cm equals to 6 lakh centimeter. Therefore, 1 cm ratio 2 lakh centimeter. Since RF has no particular measurement, we will not write the unit of measurement. This way, the statement will be 1 ratio 2 lakh and its corresponding RF will be 1 upon 2 lakh. For writing the statement of scale in kilometers on the given RF, we change the unit first. Let's understand it with an example. Suppose the given RF is 1 upon 3,50,000. So it will be 1 ratio 3,50,000. Since the statement of scale is to be in kilometers, we should start with centimeter as the unit of measurement. So 1 centimeter ratio 3,50,000 centimeter. 1 centimeter ratio 3,50,000 centimeter divided by 100 equals to 3,500 meter. 1 centimeter equals to 35,000 divided by 1000 equals to 3.5 kilometer. 1 centimeter equals to 3.5 kilometer. 2 centimeter equals to 7 kilometer. Round figure of convenience. Therefore, the statement of scale is 2 centimeter ratio 7 kilometer. In the third method, the map distance is shown with the help of a straight line. The method is called graphic or linear method. The length of the line depends on the size of the map. Generally, it takes between 12 cm to 20 cm. The straight line is divided into parts and these parts are known as primary divisions. The first primary division is further subdivided into smaller parts. These parts are known as secondary divisions. From the point of view of convenience, the starting point is called 0 point on the linear scale is placed after the first primary division from the left. The primary divisions are placed to the right of the 0 and the secondary divisions are placed to the left of the 0. The linear scale helps in measuring the distance directly from the map. It also provides the figure or values of the corresponding ground distance. Types of maps based on scale. There are two types of maps based on scale. They are small scale maps and large scale maps. Small scale maps. These maps show larger areas with lesser details. In a small scale map, the large scale is used as 1:7 crore 50 lakh. Wall maps and maps in Atlas are small scale maps. We get a general picture of the physical, economical, and climate conditions of different regions by small-scale maps. Large-scale map. Large-scale maps show small areas in greater detail. Cadastral maps and topographical maps are large-scale maps. Cadastral maps. The word cadastral have been divided from the French word cadastre. This means a register of the territorial property. A cadastral map shows the extent and measurement of every field and plot of land accurately. The layout maps of villages are examples of cadastral map. Topographical maps. The topographical map shows the general surface featured in detail. The feature includes both natural and cultural landscape. Topographical map shows relief and other natural features such as rivers, lakes, forests, as well as human-made features such as roads, cities, and bridges. Topographical maps are based on the actual survey of the land. These maps are also called topo sheets. Directions. For perfect reading of a map, we must be familiar with the concept of directions on a map. The direction on a map is shown using an arrow pointing towards the upper side of the map. The tip of the arrow is marked with the letter N. It means that arrow pointed towards north. Now, it is clear that the upper side of the map shows the north direction. The arrow on the map is called north line. The directions on a map are always depicted with respect on the north. The opposite side of the north, that is the bottom of the map, shows south. The right side of the maps depict east and the left side of the map depicts west. So, there are 4 main directions on a map. These directions are called cardinal directions. In addition of 4 main directions, there are 4 intermediate directions. The intermediate directions are the directions which are midway between the cardinal directions. The 4 intermediate directions are northeast NE, southeast SE, northwest NW and southwest SW. Did you know? The earliest maps date back to Babylonia in 2300 BCE. These maps were sketched on animal skins or carved on wood, leather or clay tables. To identify directions, we can locate or identify direction in the following ways. First, facing the rising sun. We can locate the directions using the position of the sun. We all know that the sun rises in the east. If someone stands facing the sun, he is facing east. His back faces west. The right hand side will show south and the left hand side will show north. Locating pole star. The pole star is located vertically above the North Pole. It can be identified by referring to the constellation Great Polar Bear in the Northern Hemisphere. The polar bear keeps moving around the pole star. The 2 pointer stars or the Great Bear always point towards the pole star. Using magnetic compass. Generally, we use a compass to find the direction of a place. The needle of a magnetic compass always pointed in the north-south direction. The magnetic compass is also called mariner's compass, as it is used by mariners to find direction in sea while sailing. Bearing. Sometimes we need to locate, find or know the exact direction of a place or an object. This direction is obtained with respect to the north direction. This exact direction is expressed in terms of degrees or bearing. It is always measured in clockwise direction. Bearing is an angle and this is formed between the north line and the line joining the 2 given points. Let's understand it with an example. Look at the given picture. In the given picture, Kirat is asked to calculate the bearing of the point B. The point A is the point of reference. The point B is situated on the north-south direction. Kirat draws the north-south line towards A. Then he joins point A and point B. An angle NAB is formed. Angle NAB is measured in clockwise direction. Kirat gets value of this angle. The value of this angle is the bearing of point B from point A. The bearing of the north is always 0. Conventional signs and symbols. A map is a small representation of a huge areas. Many features are depicted on a map, but these features are not depicted in their original form, size and shape. Rather, they are shown through signs and symbols. Mountains, rivers, forests, railway tracks, bridges, airport, temples, etc. are shown on a map through symbols. Different colors and lettering are also used to present information on a map. Blue color is used to show water bodies. Green color is used to show plains. These symbols are known as conventional symbols. Conventional signs and symbols are universally accepted. Almost all countries of the world use same signs and symbols in their maps. Knowledge of conventional symbols is a must to fully interpret. The following points show the importance of maps. Maps are very useful to students in their studies. Maps are the storehouse of records of facts about the earth. Maps help us in understanding the landforms. Maps are also useful to governments as they need them for administrative purposes. The topo sheets are highly beneficial during wartime. Maps work as a guide for tourists and travelers. Maps are also helpful for planning and development of an area. We can understand complex facts in their proper relations through pictorial maps. Sketch. A diagram which is drawn without taking into consideration the actual distance between places or direction is called a sketch. Suppose your father asks you go to the bank, which is at some distance from your house. but you do not have any idea about its location and route. Your father draws a route diagram of roads which shows the turns you have to take. He also draws a symbol of landmark near which the bank is situated. With the help of these diagrams, you reach the bank even though it does not show the accurate distance and direction. The rough diagram drawn without scale, without proper use of signs and symbols, is a sketch. Plan. Sometimes it is required to draw an accurate map of a very small area like a house, a building or a room. This map is called a plan. It is also called layout plan. A plan is an outline drawing of a building or a room or a small area. It includes accurate directions, symbols and distance, much like a map. A plan is always drawn to scale, since a plan is smaller than a map, so it is drawn on a smaller scale. A plan gives many details, whereas a sketch gives only the main features of the area under study. A sketch is not drawn to scale. Diagrams. Different types of diagrams are used to show different physical features. Let us know about the diagrams which represent different physical features. River. River is a long stem of water. Many small stems of water come together to form a long river. Some rivers are rain-fed. They have water during rainy seasons. Some rivers are perennial. They originate from glacier and receive water from them throughout the year. The place from where a river originates is called its source. A source may be either a glacier, a lake, or a spring. A river falls into a lake, a sea, or into an ocean. The point where the river joins the lake, sea, or the ocean is called its mouth. Comparative study. Map, sketch, plan. A map is a representation of the earth on a flat surface which is drawn to scale. A sketch is not drawn on a scale. A plan is always drawn to scale. A map can show a large area but without details. It does not consider an accurate distance between places or directions. A plan is an outline drawing of a building or a room or a small area. A map shows directions, locations, and distribution of geographical features. A sketch has limited purposes and it's mostly used for finding directions. It includes the accurate directions, symbols, and distance which like a map, and is used for architectural or engineering purposes. Tributary. A large river is joined by many small rivers in its course. A small river which joins a large river is called a tributary. A river basin is the area which is drained by a river and its tributaries. Meander. In mountains, the speed of a river is very high due to slope, but when it enters the plains, its speeds reduce due to the flattering of surface in plain. A river turns and twists to form a bends or loops. These bends or loops are called meanders. Did you know? The word meander has been taken from a winding river of Turkey called Menderes. This river has numerous bends in its course. Distributary. In its course, a river carries heavy load. This load is made of large volume of water and sediments. The sediment reduces the speed of river and causes aggradation. This aggregation is called sandbar. The aggradation unlifts an area and the stream of the river divides into several channels. These channels are called distributaries. A distributary never joins a river again. Delta. A delta is a triangular shaped land formed between the distributaries due to deposition of sediment. The formation resembles the Greek letter delta. The delta formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra in the Bay of Bengal is the largest delta of the world. Did you know? Herodotus. The Greek Herodotus was the first to use the word delta for the shape formed on the mouth of the river Nile. Anticline and syncline. Anticline and syncline are the formation in sedimentary rocks. In sedimentary rocks, waves-like formation are formed when the rocks are compressed under the pressure. These formations are called folds. In a fold, the arc or the upfold is called an anticline and the trough or downfall is called a syncline. Block mountains. A block mountain is formed by the forces which causes faults and cracks in the crust of the earth. These faults break the earth's crust into blocks and are displaced vertically. The upliftment of these blocks causes formation of black mountains. When the blocks on the either side of the fault subside, the middle part forms a black mountain. The subsided parts are known as rift valley. Star points. A globe is a small man-made model of the earth and it represents the earth more accurately in a similar way. A map is a representation of the earth on a flat surface which is drawn to scale. A scale is a ratio between map direction and ground direction. A scale on a map can be represented by three ways: statement method, representative method, and linear method. The direction on a map is shown using an arrow pointing towards the upper side of the map. The exact direction is expressed in terms of degrees or bearing. Bearing is always measured in clockwise direction. A plan is an outline drawn of a building or a room or a small area. A delta is a triangular shaped land formed between the distributaries due to deposition of sediment. New words: array, series. Linear, related to lines, length. Conventional, considered acceptable. Traditional. Sedimentary, formed from sediment. Cartographer, a person who draws maps and cards.